like having an option to like not make people manually tap land sounds great, but again, like the execution of something like that is everything. If it's just going to be another Duels of the Planeswalkers where they're going to milk you for a couple of years and then dump it, if it's not, if their eventual goal for Magic Arena isn't to replace Magic Online, it has no actual functional use to someone like me. Like, as someone who wants to, like, play games competitively and, like, play games with optimal decks and things like that, like, MTG Arena is, like, a failure from the start for someone like me if they don't intend to do that. A couple other people mentioned that they said there's no trading in it, but I'd almost guarantee you that, like, it's too early for them to know things like that for certain. If you want trading in the game, you should send that feedback to Wizards of the Coast ASAP. Like, that's something you should send. Like, they talked about it having the full Magic rules engine. Like, that's great, and probably it's probably awesome, right? But like, the actual answer is like, we don't actually know all of the details, and most of the details probably aren't set in stone. Yeah, there's no, yeah, exactly, I agree. I hope everyone's ready for 3 hours of Sapphire Diamond control this morning, by the way, because that's what I plan to do. The plan is 3 hours of Diamond Sapphire control. I already have 2 Runebind, so I'm actually just gonna grab the Psychic Ascension here. We're really looking for a resource. God, this card is so much worse than Guidance. It's unreal how much worse it is. I think I'm gonna Runebind this just to like shut their velocity down a little bit. They usually don't have a lot of interrupts in their deck game 1, so I don't really need to save that for those, I don't think. If we brick on a shard here, we're gonna be in a lot of trouble. Woof. 2 shards on the draw. Can I play more than 8 ice? Play more than 8 ice? I feel like I would like to play more than 8 ice. It's like good clean 10 ice in the deck. That's interesting. When you play an action, this gets Gladiator 1. That gets really scary really fast. Yep. Alright, well, I'll ditch that, I guess. Kinda sad I took that over Runebind. I just assumed we were gonna hit a resource at some point. I think taking this is correct if we hit a resource. Like, if we hit our 3rd resource, this likely propels us into a 4th, like... Yeah, we're good. Not catching up from that at that point. We can get these Totem Traps in here. I think that's about it, right? What this is a Wii matchup. This is definitely a Lanupaw site matchup. I don't know. This is a matchup where we have time to get Bounty of the Magus going. Unsure how I feel about that. Maybe Bounty's better than Lanupaw's site. Thunderfield Seer is a little medium. Need more to eat, little fat boy? Oh, I need to change a diaper? You had to wait until we started streaming to poop? Poop, yep. I smell it. Morning, apprentice. I'll be right back. I need to change a diaper real quick. Morning. Sorry about that. Yeah, the article did go up on X Primal. Diamond Wild Ardent. I don't think so anymore. It was one of the things that we had that just I've deleted so many deck lists because like we play them and they're just like not good enough against the other decks. It's just like, all right, well, this is a waste of time. Now, there's plenty of people that all they do is stream limited on Magic Online. Honestly, there's plenty of people that all they do is stream limited on every card game. This is a constructed sanctuary here. Alright, so we're gonna draw up to... I think this can gain... Actually, if I take this hit here, this gains life too, right? So there's 0 reason to chump. So I'm gonna draw up to 5, down to 4, down to 3. So this is gonna gain life and draw cards here. Eldurathan's Glory is a great pickup. This is double prophesized. God bless. Yeah, there's a lot of people that aren't a fan of limited. You know, there's plenty of places that give people who are fans of limited something to watch. So here we'll do other things. They don't have a Crebate here. I get to trade here, which is nice. I'm gonna do this and do this. Max out my life gain there. I'm gonna do this, grab a non-resource. This is prophesied, so it's gonna draw the card that it prophesizes to the top. Dark Heart's Dece. Again, 4/6, customizable. Every time it passes to my opponent's turn, they have to sacrifice a thing. Non-socketed thing, specifically. Limited's okay. Vandalize, that's rude. Destroys a target artifact. Good one. It's interesting. I wonder... It's kind of interesting that they're playing that as opposed to playing something like... what's the word I'm searching for? Ruby's Favor. I guess the resource efficiency there is pretty important for them. I'm gonna play this and put a non-resource on top of my deck. I think from what they're describing, MTG Arena isn't going to be relevant to someone like me. Like, why should I be compelled to play MTG Arena if they're not going to, like, support formats on it that I'm interested in playing? If it's gonna be a CCG, it doesn't sound like something I'm interested in either, so... Yeah, exactly. Like, the actual gameplay in most limited formats is not particularly interesting. Another Flickering Gobbler's pretty good. Backling Strands on here locks this down. The Guzzler's an interesting addition to that deck. Another Runebind's an okay draw. I'm just gonna go ahead and play this. I'm just gonna stick this Glory in here. It doesn't get rid of the Guzzler, but it's gonna get rid of both the Bumblebots. I think is fine. I can trade with the Guzzler in combat. Any more to eat? Oh, you want a different show? That's all you do down here is ask for different shows? They haven't said whether or not there's a buy-sell market, but the fact that this is like, basically, like this is their Hearthstone clone, like I'd be surprised if they don't just copy the Hearthstone model. Oh, this was a small mistake here. I should have runebound this before it got to attack, technically speaking. Good, denied them an assault trigger. Which one you want, Declan? You want Robocar? Okay. Adjudicators and okay draw. I guess it gains me life and I have Runebind to protect it. It's probably not the worst. I could also just gas up, but like the worry here is just like dying to this flickering gobbler when it comes off, right? So I should probably just play this as a gain 5 bird. Of course, they might also snowball some more card advantage from here. I could just hit this. I'll start with this, I guess. Maybe I should have not played a slow shard, then I could have played bird plus leave Runebind up. We're looking for like a transmog, right? I think I'm just gonna hold the Runebind up for the turn. Let's just keep ticking down this Psychic Ascension. Into the Unknown's a decent hit. You can get rid of the Gobbler, kinda. Into the Unknowning dual shard cards is kinda scary. Consult the Talon. I'm gonna Runebind that. We could into the Unknown the rune, you're right. Yeah, I think I'm obligated to do this, because if I just Psychic Ascend this turn, I could get into a lot of trouble if I, that's the right rune, right? Yeah. I could get into a lot of trouble if they hit a resource next turn and flip both those off. Non-resource on top of my deck here, and I think I'm still just playing this out without drawing cards. Like, I'm gonna Ascend next turn, which is good. See, rerolling Gobblers in general is kind of scary, right? Like, they could get a Blog Barg or whatever it's called. The Great Gobbler. There's the map spot. That was probably the rune. Yep. Hopefully they just activate this twice. Deal. Sweet. Means we know my Psychic Ascension is resolving. There might be merit to just like playing this out here, but I think guaranteeing my Psychic Ascension resolve is more valuable than like trying to get rid of this Consult the Talons. I feel like I'm at a high enough life total that I can grind through this Consult with the Psychic Ascension. Guess we're gonna test that theory. I guess their champion power is a reason to luff this bird back. Okay, sure. Going to 15 here. My bird is dead. Start baiting my champion power, see what we get. What's the difference between Turbo PA and Burglar? So Turbo PA basically gives up some of the controlling cards that this deck plays and replaces them with cards to make getting to Psychic Ascension faster. Are they running Verdict? They could be. Vandalize is quick. It's neat. Alright, well, let's refute that one. A good generation off my champion power there. Another Vandalize. Gross. Echoing Strands. That's rough. They can give this up to 9 power now. That's pretty gross. So we can Totem Trap this guy. I think we're halfway into our deck without a Transmog's a little annoying. I can jump here, gain 9, seems valuable. Champ power first, as always. Lunacy. Alright, well, let's hide and seek this guy. Give me a random 6 drop. Non-resource on top of my deck. Lunacy my opponent, bury 5 cards off the top of their deck. Okay. Yep. Heading down to 10 here. This. I'm gonna Glory and wipe this out, I think. This copies an artifact I have in play. Totem Trap's a good pickup. It's another answer to Flickering Gobbler. Grab a non-resource here. Silver, Talon, Adjudicator, yep. Play this out as a gain 5. Sign me up. This card's really good, believe it or not. Eldurathan's Glory is unblockable till end of turn. And you actually have lethal on board here. Just 14 and they're at 14. And they're dead. Sweet. I think I like how I boarded. I think Clash is good here. I'm gonna go ahead and save. Silver Talon is pretty messed up. You're not wrong. It's just such a good stabilizing card, right? Such a good card for stabilizing. Have you heard about the bird? I said a bird. Bird's the word. I said a bird. Bird. Bird's the word. I said a bird. Guarantee a third resource on top of our deck here. Next turn we can go Seer plus hold up Totem Trap potentially, which seems okay. Shard Sworn's a little annoying. No mill gems, it's good for us. No attack. Alright, deal. Always want to focus before you ice. Because, like, you're... Alright, well, that answers the do I want to shard or not shard. That's another reason to focus before you ice. In case you just, like, hit double bricks. Can we just, like, have a conversation about how much worse that card is than Guidance? Just, like, between us? Well, my opponent's playing the waiting game. Yeah, I don't... They have just like 4 Flickering Gobblers in their hand. It happens randomly out of the... Whenever a Socketed Troop is generated, it picks them randomly out of the thresholds that you can generate. I'm gonna go ahead and block here. Wow, we're just treating? Heal? Maybe I'm supposed to Totem Trap there so I could draw cards with this. Yeah, I'm probably supposed to Totem Trap there so I could have drawn cards with that. I'll trap it this time around. I kind of didn't want to trap that, and then, like, they play an action. Like, they might have, like, a riposte or something here. I'm gonna do this so I could try to draw cards with these Adjudicators. It's just super punished in every way, shape, and form. Super, super punished. Alright, well, I guess we're hanging out. At some point, they're gonna consult or something, and these birds will draw cards. So in, like, a lot of the, like, blood mid-range type matchups with this deck, eventually, they draw cards that draw cards, so, like... Super, super easy roll for us, unless Eldurathan's Glory will get to come down next turn and clean these Dorkos up. I have like Psychic Ascension or something in their hand. Maybe Denies or Weave into Nothings. Alright, I just have no clue. Maybe they kept a hand with all resources and then got kind of unlucky and drew more resources? No, there's a card that's going to make our Silver Talon Adjudicators draw cards. A little unfortunate. We get a resource here. Nope, still wouldn't be able to do this. Transmog is a decent draw. I think I'm actually going to deploy this out just to have something to get in the way of the Flickering Gobbler. Like, we could realistically just, like, race them here with this Eldurathan's Glory with 5 extra health and a way to block the Gobbler. There might be merit to sitting on it just because, like, they did just Lanupaw's site. And, like, they have that other prophecy coming up as well from the Seer. But, like, I have this bird as a follow-up, too. So, like, if they blow through this bird... Kind of just want to use my resources last turn. Like, I definitely have... Resources are certainly my bottleneck right now. That's pretty good. Another Gobbler. Yep. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and transmog this one that draws a card here. That one right on out. You want a different show again? How much one you want? Taking 6 here. It's revert another. So we're gonna start by attacking. Obviously. No, I shouldn't start by attacking because then I can't gain life. God damn it. That's a punt. Alright, well. Big pop-up punts to start the day. 5 points of damage behind now because the life is more important for sure. Things that matter for 100, folks. Don't fuck up. And like that, being down those points could do definitely better in this race. Another Last Guard's Vengeance. There's a Gobbler. Okay. Hey, Hilarious Max with the 18-month resubscription. Welcome back and thank you for the continued support. I do appreciate it. Yeah, it's just like, it's one of those cards that disrupts the typical play pattern that you have in decks like this. So it's like, you know, we get so trained that it's like always correct to play our cards after we attack. That like when you get into those situations where it's like, actually it's not correct to do that here, it's like, can be hard to adjust. Looking for a Runebind here to protect our glory. A resource at this point. The resource lets me use this to get a redraw to Runebind. I don't think there's a guarantee that they block. I don't think there's a guarantee that they block necessarily. Like if they have a Lasgard's Vengeance in their hand, they probably don't block. And like those points of damage that I miffed up are like going to come back to haunt us here, right? Because like they would be at 9 here. This is what we gave them from the Flickering Gobbler, so they get to Ha! It drew a card right away too. That's a tilt. Alright, I think we're just ascending here. I They've got... Am I ascending or am I playing the Dark Heart? I think I'm just ascending. Stourling with the 5-month resubscription. Thank you for the continued support. I do appreciate it. Welcome back. Small possibility I should have hit my thing for Oracle Song first there. Yeah, almost certainly should have hit the thing for Oracle Song first before I said Dig Right. And then I'd have an Oracle Song plus an Invigorating Breeze right now. Because remember, when you ascend, your champion power resets. I'm gonna Invigorating Breeze to generate a chump blocker for this 6/6 here. Or I'm not. Nope, not gonna chump block with the Daughter of the Poet. You gotta kill that one, dude. So we're one diamond away from that. And she just gains life when she attacks. It's invigorating, man. Why doesn't it untap our stuff? That's such a tilt. It's possible because they have so many cards that I should just chump with there anyways, but it's close. If we're a post here, they could bury us. Want to play this Dark Heart out? Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, Favor's a good one. For sure. You have these 2 extra glories here to sack to this Dark Heart. This was actually, the Gyronaut was a great generation on the random that we hit there. Vandalize, sure. Do this now, before they start drawing more cards. Or a random opposing troop with 5 defense or more. Only one of those. Go ahead. And if we were +2 cards right now, we'd be -7 charges, but +2 cards. So like, probably would be better. There's a possible they grind us out because I didn't draw that card. Non-zero chance. That's a big one. Yeah. Yep. And these aren't going to die to glory now because they're going to have 5 defense on our turn. They're going to be 1/5s. This is prophesized, right? Yeah, we have a Lanupaw site in the bank right now. Target card into its controller's hand. Alright. Could be useful and also generates a 5. Do I want to play this, or do I want to play Runic Downfall this turn? I kind of want to play Runic Downfall, but the Dark Heart's probably marginally better. Yeah, the Dark Heart's probably better. Let's just keep their board in check. I actually don't think the +5 life is exceedingly relevant right now. And like, to be fair, the down 2 cards means I don't have this Runic Downfall too, so like that could end up balancing out too because we haven't hit resources. Like, I'm gonna get to keep hitting this champion power every turn. These things trade with these too. Yeah, that's true. Their power is on the ground, so we can just like keep blocking stuff. If they attack with these, I'm just snapping off some blocks here. I'll block with this and this. We get to lose these Dark Hearts, or these glories that don't matter. No, I don't want to lose my Gyronaut. My Gyronaut is very, very valuable right now. Put target card into its controller's hand. I am going to save my Dark Heart. Generate a Vigilant Duskwing. Deal. Verdict, sure. Them tagging my Dark Heart there is actually okay for me, I think. Pride's Fall. Is that one good? Thank you, RNGesus, for these cards that you have generated for us. We appreciate you. I appreciate you, RNGesus. Like, remember that time we talked about? So this is actually like a reasonable discussion, right? Like, generally I snap off drawing 2 extra cards, but is guaranteeing 7 extra randoms out of here better than 2 more cards out of my deck? Like, it might actually be, right? There might be a non-zero chance that, like, that's just true. They have 7 cards in hand, and they're not playing any of them. Are they just, like, waiting on the double Lasgar's Vengeance? Yeah, I'm okay with that, I think. Don't touch my phone, child. Arcane Zephyr, too little too late there on that one. Alright, Declan, alright. Now am I supposed to do this Glory? Yeah, I'm gonna attack with both of these and then Glory post-combat, I think. Oh, this was prophesized. Tilt. Alright, so playing this was super wrong. Playing this was super wrong. We get double Lasgard here and die. Got him. I wasn't expecting both Lasgards to cost 8. I was expecting at least one of them to be cheaper than that and for them to have interaction, but they didn't, so they don't. It's fine. Go this into this. I wonder if I'm supposed to play the ice on one there. It's very possible that maybe the ice is supposed to be played on one. Sure. Let's dig for our prophesized action. Alright, I'll take an Adjudicator, I guess. I'm gonna stack another resource on top of my deck here. I think I want to just curve out. I'm not attacking, so I don't want them to have the option to draw a card with... maybe I do, actually. Nah, probably clear that up with the Glory. Probably clear it up with the Glory. Alright, so Eager Lackey probably means they're playing an Underworld Crusader variation. That's likely what that means. I'm gonna put a non-resource on top with this one. Maybe I am okay offering them another card here just because Silver Talon Adjudicator could be better the next turn. I think I should have done this last turn. And now they're at 7 cards, like this is almost certainly going to draw cards for me next turn. Oh wow, they're gonna miss a resource drop here. That's so good for us. Else would have drawn cards regardless. 'Cause reasons. Hopefully our opponent plays like a Runier or a Lord Blightbark this turn, and we just get to like windmill slam this Eldurathan's Glory. Move on to the next game. I guess letting these get into their crypt is actually actively bad, right? Because, like, that makes their Culmination in Blood easier to cast. So I think I'm just supposed to take this hit here and then jab this jab this Glory into play. So, like, they just have less things in their crypt. It also, like, just takes 2 bodies out of play that they can attack to their champion power when they do hit a resource. So, I'm going to do that, I think. Like, if I had blocked there and, like, traded off the board, that would have made their Culmination in Blood -4 cost. Glory is gone. To play Darkheart with Runebind up next turn. I don't actually know that I believe that Darkheart's that good again in this matchup. It's like okay, but like it's not super impressive. I mean, like, our opponent missed their 3rd resource drop on 3, and their 3rd resource drop on 4, like, moved to hand size, so, like, they're pretty unlikely to win this game just based on that alone. This is prophesized too, right? Yeah. And we decided this was a matchup I wanted Bounty in, right? So one of the little things you want to do in this matchup that's pretty important is that you want to not use your champion power aggressively. And the reason for that is you want to save your champion power for after they Culmination in Blood you, because Culmination in Blood's their one really easy way to, like, get into the game. So we're just not going to hit my champion power here. No reason to. Got 12 power in play. Like, clean this up. If they clean this up, then we'll hit our champion power and, like, work towards this Ascension. I agree. I think 3, 4, 6s are going to beat him down. Alright, so let's cut a Darkheart. Thunderfield Seer is pretty terrible. Lanupaw's Sight out. We like to bring the Confounding Ires, the Weaves, and the Bounty of the Maguses in. Cut a Silver Talon Adjudicator. What do you feel about this board plan? Oh, Dreadend's pretty good. Clash is medium, but fine. What are your thoughts on Sapphire Diamond Control Ready Clash of Steel main board? I don't think Clash of Steel is fantastic in the format in general. It's like okay against the mono Ruby deck, but it's pretty mediocre otherwise. It's decent against Goot, I guess, but I think you're favored against Goot. Eldurathan's Glory is like okay, but not amazing. Cut one of those too. I think I like this. We're bringing in a 5, so trimming some of these seems fine. This is good. Like, I don't even want 2 clashes in this matchup. Like, the second clash might even be a card I cut from the board this weekend before I play. This hand's a little medium. Look, we're not even into Cosmic yet. I don't have time to dick around with 4 Runic Diminishings. That's almost for certain. Alright, so now that I hit that, I'm actually going to guidance for a non-resource here, because I wouldn't mind hitting a Runebind or a Transmog. Focus is fine too. The illusion of choice. Our hand is definitely light on ways to impact the board right now. So they have another powerful play here. We're going to be in a little bit of trouble. The Weave Bounty Plant's definitely a little bit medium on the draw. Yep. Like that. Wait, what? Why do they have Skyguard Steadfasting? Do they have another socketed card? Do they have the Blossom in the Crusader? They must, right? That's interesting. That's really interesting. I wonder if they're not playing Lord Blightbark. Because not putting both Grow Gems in here if you're playing Lord Blightbark seems like a huge punt. That was the Blight Blossom in it. Alright, I'll leave that one. I've got 2 more shards here, so I'm going to put a non-resource on top. We're kind of just looking for answers to the board at this point. Them sacking that's actually pretty good for us, because it means this Darkheart's going to get to come down and deal with this Emperor's Lackey. Confounding Ire. How close are they to Culmination? 1, 2... Just 2. This will be 3. Alright, I think this is safe to not leave the shields up this turn. Lower the shields. I repeat, we're lowering the shields. As you will, opponent. Please don't punish me too hard. I guess my opponent could have been aggressive and like sack this. Hero Fall, sure. That's fine. I'm getting hit with a 4/4 here. I don't think I want to Adjudicator just yet. I think I want a Bounty plus hold up Confounding Ire this turn. I might want a Bounty now. Why? Yeah, I agree. Lord of Blightbark. I don't actually know if I care about this. Probably do. Yeah, I almost certainly do. Sack isn't a gem anymore. The sack gem rotated. We're not lucky here, Burgle. Put this on top of my deck. If we would have drawn like a Transmog or a Runebind there, it would have been pretty insane. We're like not in a terrible spot. If we get Culmination, we're going to be in kind of a medium spot. I think I'm just cashing this in as a gain 4. Is it? Which one? That's gross. So I put a non-resource on top of my deck with my Fate Weave, right? So do I bin these shards or do I bin the Psychic Ascension? I feel like I'm supposed to bin the Psychic Ascension. That's decent. Alright. Alright, Runebind's a card. Gonna get the Runeir. Gonna get the Rabbit off our back for a turn or two. If we don't get Culminations here, we're gonna be okay. They might not have a ton of Culminations if they have Primordial Cockatrice. Hopefully they're not playing both of those. It'd be real bad for us. That's Find this Dorko. This one draws 3, so like... Good one, 2 of Runebound. I'm gonna lead on this, see what we get. Eldurathan's Glory into the unknown. Grab a non-resource here. Would love a Transmog or a Runebind. Another Eldurathan's Glory. Remember that time we cut one of those? Put a non-resource on top of my deck here. I don't even think I really want to dread it in this board that badly, right? Like, I think I'd much rather, like, get my 3 cards there and, like, try and hit multiple relevant things. Alright, so... Creeper versus Cockatrice. This is more likely to turn into something that's a pile of poop. Dead. Good beat. Alright, play this next game on the plate. Launch him a Runebind and leave a bird in. That seems fine, especially on the play. See, I need some resources, but if this finds a shard, then this finds a shard, so... Yeah, Gaze reveals the hand, which is actually one of the things I really don't like about it. I really liked the fact that Withering Touch only showed them the cards they could take. I thought that was a really good use of the digital design space. I'm gonna use this to guarantee another resource. Let's try and hit our first 7 here. $10 out of 10 transbogging a 2-drop here. Always transmog after combat, 'cause you can transmog them into a speed troop. I finally had time to download Hex last night and give it a go. Thanks for turning me towards it. I wouldn't have found the fusion section. Awesome! Drowning Call Live. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hex is definitely my favorite card game, digital or otherwise, right now. The designs, their design team is just they're really good at their job. Their constructed formats are just like continually excellent. The Witch is actually kind of interesting for them. So this, every time it attacks, they get to take a troop from their hand and put it into their deck, and then it draws another random troop. It gives that troop +1/+1. Oh god, that's a beating. It's these two. I think it's these two. I think our opponent might be onto something with the Cockatrice in this match, but it's definitely not a card we've tested before on either side. Not a card my group has tested. I'm gonna stack a non-resource on top here because I do need to find some action at this point. My guidance can find me a resource to play next turn. JK, LOL. We're empty-handed and have only 4 resources, so yeah, kind of in trouble. For only 2 resources. I'm pretty sure there's a resource on top of my deck from a Fate Weave I did before we got Cockatrice, right? That means we're drawing a brick next turn. Wow, they put the sack gem out here. This seems really loose against when we were playing Blood Wild decks last season. You always, and we were starting the sacrifice gem in these. We always cut the sack gem post board against the Transmogrifade deck, and now the Transmogrifade deck has Runeir as Runebind as well. It seems like really bad to put that on your card. I guess I'm gonna guarantee a resource on top so I can just champ power next turn. They have me empty-handed here, so like they're gonna get to hit me once with this, but like, and the give +2 power, that seems really terrible. All right, looks like we're gonna die here. The speed on one of these is great, right? I mean, the speed on the Deathcry gem is fantastic if you have the appropriate, what's the word I'm searching for? If you have, speed is very good. It's the sack gem and the this thing gem that don't seem very good. Yeah, the witch did a lot of work this game, and we're dead. All right. So Cockatrice was very good there on the opponent's side of the board. And again, like, this is why control decks, like, so that game was a perfect example of like why Sapphire Diamond control is only the best deck in this format, because Lasgar's Vengeance is kind of compressing the format. Like, control decks like this are very good at hammering down specific strategies when the format is kind of narrow, and when almost half the format are like these aggressive based Lasgar's Vengeance decks. A deck like this has a lot of room to be on top of the format. But like, when there's these different mid-range decks that are attacking with things like Cockatrice and Crusaders on top of like Ardent decks and all these other different things that are going on in the format, it gets much harder for a control deck like this to stay on top. Just gonna play this for now and put another resource on top of my deck, I think. And like Dexter and I can see her plus Runebind. The Witch has good stats for against the Ruby decks in the format, that's for sure. I'm just gonna guarantee another resource on top of my deck here. Let's just like guarantee to play this Eldurathan's Glory on 5 potentially, depending on how they build their board up. Runebind this Storko. I'm gonna leave this back. It might be able to gain us more life next turn. Unfortunate that Runebinding this means a Silver Talon Adjudicator won't gain life here, but I think I'd rather just draw some cards with this rather than wait. Actually, you know what? So I made a really subtle mistake here. I think I was supposed to let them make the extra Dreadling and hit us with it, because we would have actually... Wait. Oh, I did gain. I'm dumb. Never mind. I'm dumb. They have 24. I don't know why I was thinking they had 22. Shh. Shh. Ignore me. Ignore me. We played the bird. We gained the life. We drew our card. Just... Shh. Everything is fine. Ignore the man behind the curtain. Everything is fine! Everything is fine. My bird has been cremated. Yep, this is why we didn't chump block last turn, so we could chump block this one this turn. What do I want to do here? play this for non-resource, I think. Put a resource on top of my deck. Was kind of hoping they'd draw a shard there so I could weave into nothing. Their Crusader. Please draw a shard. It's really unfortunate. Probably very little. It doesn't look like Arena is probably being influenced by Hearthstone and games like Eternal and all the other CCGs more than anything else. We're really bad at drawing Transmogrifade today. Like, comically bad. We don't know yet, Dark Wonders. The fact that they're not saying, to me, implies that it's going to be a CCG. They hit a resource here and have a Rust Bucket. Okay, no, did not hit the resource this turn. Is fantastic for us. They attack with both of these. We just eat the Matriarch and then eat 4. And then we get to go Shard, Silver Talon, Adjudicator. Oh yeah, this is excellent for us because it means that they're going to draw some extra cards here. Which means we get to draw cards with the Silver Talon, Adjudicator. I don't actually think the Redlings deck goes away any more than the Mono Ruby deck goes away with the removal of Lasgar's Vengeance. It's just going to be like, you know, 5% of the format instead of 20% of the format. Yep. Basically, Hodor. That worked out kind of unfortunate for us, and then we drew this, so have a Dark Heart. Yeah, my group tested Culmination and Redlings a lot, and we were just not happy with the result. Non-resource card on top. You have another Rust Bucket? If they have another Rust Bucket, we could be in trouble here. Are they trading Matriarch for 4 points of damage? It looks like they are. Do I block here? Is this worth losing this to Lasgar's Vengeance? I think it is. Like trading this for this. They have Lasgar's, they have Lasgar's. Like if they don't have it, they're just like super up a creek without a paddle here. Sabertooth, sure, that makes sense too. Okay. This Adjudicator probably means this game's locked up. Yeah, if the Glory were at 11, the Glory probably locks it on its own. Alright, so Ire's in, Totem Trap's in, Lanupaw's site, Weave, Psychic Ascension's out. I think that's my plan. Cut the other site for what? None of these other cards on my board are particularly impressive. I do not mind drawing exactly one site. I want these Into the Unknowns on the draw. I want the Into the Unknowns on the draw. 10 out of 10 want the Into the Unknowns on the draw. We'll make them weaves on the play. Probably make both of them weaves on the play, actually. Oh. It's okay. Not super exciting, but fine. I'll lead on this Diamond Dice. I wanted to grab a resource for me. And like turn 2, we'll go Sapphire Seer. Alright, the fact that they had a 1-drop means I'm going to play the Seer on 1, so change of plans. Matt, what happened? You gave me my 3 booster packs, so I appreciate you, but what happened there? One for one! No, 1 for 1! If y'all don't follow me on other forms of social media, my article talking about the possible Asgard's Vengeance ban, and here's a real question. How do we feel about drawing in the mirror? How do we feel about drawing in the mirror? I would like to have a discussion about being on the draw in the mirror. Here's my Asgard's Vengeance article. I'm gonna go second. Because birds. Maybe there's birds. I don't think it's that much worse based on counter magic. I think the birds are a more compelling argument. I don't think that's strictly true, Burgle. I think the person that hits the most resource drops has a better chance of doing that, which makes a compelling argument for being able to draw. I'm actually going to wait on this because I'm not jamming this dark card on 4 anyway, so I'm going to wait and see if we draw a resource or not next turn. If we don't draw a resource, I'm probably going to guidance for 1. Alright, now I'm just going to dark card. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, they gave me a ramp spell. They gave me a ramp spell. I want blood cards in the mirror for when I ascend. That's not strictly true. That's not strictly true, Burgle. Like the whole game just plays out differently than pacing, right? Like there's probably a very real chance I don't even play the Dark Heart on 5. That's fine. Opponent making the classic Hoagland mistake. Play my ice and then casting my Lanupaw sight. So it's a pretty big punt. Pretty big pop punts there from the opponent scheme. Pretty big poop punts. They have 5 cards. This is gonna put me up to 6. Playing this puts me down to 5. Playing this puts me down to Silver Talon's gonna draw me cards. Nope, that card drew me an extra card. I'm a big dumb stupid. I guess I could Runebind my Thunderfield Seer. This isn't prophesized, right? Yeah, so I could do this. Go down to 6 cards. Put a non-resource on top. I can Runebind this down to 5 cards. I can play this. I guess there was an argument for putting a resource on top so I could guaranteed flip this back out here. Yeah, that's probably a strong argument for that. Well, having both my Psychic Ascensions in my hand is excellent, believe it or not. I'm gonna put a non-resource on top of my deck here. I'm gonna hit my Champion Power. I'm gonna draw 2 cards. Keep ticking these down. That means next turn I can Psychic Ascension with Runebind up. Which, unless they're ascending on their turn, we're going to be the first one to ascend. Rawr. Hopefully they play a Dark Heart here, so I have something worth transmogging. God bless. I just want to make these Psychic Ascensions cheaper. So if I draw like another Runebind, I can have double Runebind to protect them. I'm going to try and transmog this before I decide if I want to block, because if this is living, I don't really want to trade. But if this is gone, I don't mind trading. Because, like, if this they're going to Runebind their thing. I'm okay with this because I want to, and I'm not going to take, I'm just going to take this hit here. Actually, we could make better troops with my Psychic Ascension too, so, like, yeah, just, like, letting this happen is good. So now they need double Runebind in order to not let my Psychic Ascension resolve here. You could say I've ruined my opponent. Ooh, guidance. Non-resource at this point. Alright, they need to ascend. If they don't ascend, like, next turn, we're probably going to snowball this game out of control. Nope, Hex does not shuffle. It randomly inserts. The only reason games like Magic shuffle is to ensure people aren't cheating. You're cute. Yeah, you're cute. And then if my opponent hits their PA here, this is where the real game starts. I think there's only one card that still shuffles at Hex. It's Peak. Peak still shuffles. I'm 10 out of 10 taking this trade here. They want to lose that rune. That's... Stop it! You only sit on my lap if you're not hitting my keyboard, jerk. If you're hitting the keyboard, you are going to be banished. Alright, so let's do this first and guarantee a non-resource on top of my deck. Hit my champion power before I do anything in case we generate an interrupt. Pain and power. That's pretty good. Let's do this. Let's do this. Ooh, all of the prophecies. So these two are on the same card guaranteed here. Is it worth just playing this out? I think I want to save this for a copycat. I'm just gonna hit this and make a 3-drop now while I have the resources. Oh, that's really good. That's kind of... Thank you, RN Jesus. So Rune Stature grabs a rune off the table and puts it into our hand. So I'll take that Runebind. Thank you very much. Don't mind if it does, opponents. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Snatch the rune. Snatch of the rune. Snatch of the rune. Snatch of the rune! And the top card of my deck has double Thunderfield prophecies on it, if it's an action. Ace Taker. Alright, sure. Sacrifice one of these dorks. Action, please. Action. Oh, baby! It's the Runebind the legends foretold of. Huzzah! Hey, Burgle! Am I runebinding that? Yeah, we're just like runebinding this, right? It's like I'm winning the game. The hex equivalent of the Shadow Realm. Hey, how about I runebind this one, and then I copy it, and I runebind this. And then we hit this to counter a guidance. Look at all these cards! Look at all these cards I have! Hey, don't double guidance me, bro. Don't double guidance me. Alright, put the dukes up, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so what am I doing here? So I want berry on these. I'm not sure that I'm sold that I want the other mode on that. So I don't. Let's cut some Transmogrifades, cut these Thunderfield Seers. I want my Weaves, I want my Robomancer with Berry and Sorcery. Into the Unknown, I want my Bounties of the Magus. See, Burgle understands. Burgle understands what I was doing. Leave a couple of Seers in. You think our opponent puts us on the play this game? What are the odds they put us on the play? Really low, right? My opponent chose to go first. Haha! We get them right where we want them. They let us be on the play. How foolhardily of them. Activated my trap card, opponent. The Adjudicator with the brand new Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I haven't plugged myself yet this morning. Thank you, everyone that's hanging out, especially thank you to Adjudicator for the Twitch Prime subscription. If you are enjoying my content and you're new here, hit that follow button. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps other people find my stuff. If you're really enjoying what you see, though, please consider doing like the Adjudicator there and subscribing on Twitch or becoming a patron on Patreon. Both of those support myself financially directly, and they help enable me to do what I do here. So if you want, like, enjoy my Hex content, please consider doing one of those two things. You can also support my Hex content by supporting my sponsors. HexPrimal.com would love to buy and sell Hex TCG cards with you. If you use code Jeff5 at checkout with them, you'll save 5% on all of your orders at Hex Primal. And InkedGaming.com can help you customize your gaming experience. They do custom playmats and mouse pads and sleeves and stuff like that. So lots of awesome stuff on their site as well. You can use your own custom artwork that you have the rights to redistribute, or you can select from their wide range of artwork that they have on their website. I think I want to just like swim through these guidances and focuses to like basically try and get to my Psychic Ascension faster and have it tick down so it's super castable quickly. First one to PA is often the winner. There are some exceptions, like Robomancer's like pretty scary in the mirror. I probably was supposed to take the resource there, wasn't I? I don't know, it's pretty close. I have 2 more resources. I already have resources 5, 6 here. Whoa, they're missing a shard drop. Well, that's more than good. It's great. So I was just going to jam this Silver Talon Adjudicator here, but because I drew this Bounty of the Magus, I'm just going to go ahead and pass the turn, I think. Because, like, yeah. Although I guess they didn't have a weave, so they wouldn't have been able to interrupt this. That's close. I'm gonna Runebind this, and then I can Darkheart to make them sacrifice this, which is pretty good. How would you like to bury some cards off the top of your deck? 4 resources? 3 resources and a cantrip! Tilt. I'd be tilted if I was the opponent. I'd be sliding out of my chair.
Hey. I see go. I'll go.
Was it just a 3-2? Oh, I did have 7. Did we both have 7 cards? You might be right. You might be right. Maybe the Runebind was hasty. So we sequence like this because this way I can hit my champion power here. And if I Oracle so I can do a resource, I get to cast this. So they have another Runebind, sure. I wasn't even looking at their hand ring. I just assumed that they were going to... I just assumed that they were going to draw... That they were going to draw cards. You know what they say when you assume? I just assumed the bird was drawing cards. It didn't occur to me that we both had 7 cards. You're 110% correct that with us both having 7 cards, it is wrong to do what I did. A resource here. I'm going to transmog this to start, I think. And then I don't think I'm playing around. I'm not going to play around another Runebind here. I'm just going to go ahead and jab this Psychic Ascension. Has another Runebind. All right, I could have played around that, but I don't think that's worthwhile. No, we're not going buying. You're not getting shoes. Sorry. So now we could be behind here now, because I'm gonna have to sacrifice my Mysterious Rune to my Dark Heart. I don't think jamming the bird is right there, Burgle. Like, they've already played. Is that their 4th Runebind? It's their 3rd Runebind. If they hadn't already played 2 Runebinds, I 10 out of 10 agree that I should play the bird there. But the fact that they've already played 2 Runebinds, I think it's objectively correct to try and make them have the 3rd for the Psychic Ascension there, as opposed to like letting them untap and have weaves and verdicts and stuff that people like to play in these decks. Alright, we're probably going to lose this game because of this Mad Robomancer. They're getting to untap with this, so probably just going to die to this. Maybe these bounties can snowball, but drawing a bunch of cards while they have Mad Robomancer going is not ideal. I'm down 2 into the unknowns at this point. Oh, they just are playing 2 Robomancers. Alright, sometimes people want to win the control more than you do. Guess it's not necessarily a bad thing. Yep, a bunch of cards that don't do anything. This is the flight gem on it. We'd be better off right now. I'm just gonna concede. There's no way we're beating all these Robomancers at this point without our Into the Unknowns. Yeah, I'm gonna put flight on these. It's probably better. That's always been the plan. I don't know why I didn't do it this game. Hand was ambitious, and by that I mean bad. That was a Sapphire Ice with the focus, it would have been fine, or if we'd had a guidance, probably fine, but counting on not hitting one of our diamond shards is medium. Alright, I think we're gonna be done with Diamond Sapphire for control for today.